I've done this I've done this 3 times now. I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds. Make sure you subscribe. I'm on OF. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all the stuff. It's down in the description below. I can't believe we're almost to 1,000. Thank you so much. We have fun over here. We're small, but we're awesome. But anyway, reviews for the first episode of House of the Dragon came out because special people got to go to this special event. And no, that's really cool. But they're more just comments. And some of them I'm like, Jesus. But it seems to be very positive. Let's just put it that way. And then I heard somebody sent me a video and they were like, remember when you were making fun of this? And I was like, yeah, you guys remember when I said people are going to make 18 videos off of one thing George R. R. Martin said? They were like, go to the George R. R. Martin part. And I would give this channel credit if I'm sorry, I don't remember their name. Otherwise I would say who it was, but I was listening to them and they had like 4 people on their podcast. So I was like, oh good, we'll get different people's views. But of course they were all just kissing George R. R. Martin's ass, and I was like, Jesus Christ. And then one had the audacity to talk about how they could tell what he meant off their body language, and I was like, sir, are we just giving people credit for things they do or do not do or say now? Like, is that just what we do? Like, even if they think something, we just give them credit? I don't know. What? I'm sorry. That's like a level of, this is what I mean about some George R. R. Martin people. I'm like, do you tell your friends when they're acting a fool, or do you just allow them to continue to act a fool? Because I'll tell my friend, like, hey, you're acting a fool, and still love them and care about them. I still love and care about this series. I don't understand why people equate, if you critique someone who opens themselves up for criticism, with that. I'm rooting for George. I hope it goes great. I'm just saying, I got theories, and I think this man is kind of a dick sometimes, and then I read I was reading these reviews, and somebody who's like a super fan was all geeked because they're like, oh, it's going to be closer to the book. And I'm like, no, I know you take the word of gospel from George R. R. Martin. I understand that. Oh, cool. Well, then I found this little article. So Miguel Sapochnik has had the same concern that I have had and have said from day one of starting my channel, is that I'm concerned about House of the Dragon not for even somebody who scratches the surface of Westeros. You don't gotta be at Abby's level. We don't have to talk to the Dornish master plan. I'm just talking about the average normal person here, the average normie, the director of the series. He had a concern. He goes, I don't think we can name all these Targaryens these names, and we should change some of them. And they were like, no, keep it closer to the book as the fucking internet. And George R. R. Martin, or whoever the hell they're saying is speaking for the fans on this set, was like, no, I made sure to keep them. And I was like, no, that was my main concern, was having names that sound so similar by people who look so similar, and on top of it, have names that they've already heard before in the original series, and they're going to get confused. Because in the past week, I've gotten 2 different text messages asking if this show is about Daenerys. And they thought it was until this week when I told them it wasn't. So some people aren't on the up and up. And I'm just saying, if you want to be a juggernaut like Game of Thrones was, you need those eyes. Especially, and a subscriber made a really good point. They commented and left a really good point. They were like, do you realize that The Mandalorian and like 2 other huge heavy hitters are coming out at the same time? You're fighting for those eyes on your app. That's facts. Is it enough? Are dragons enough to keep people interested? Because I was concerned about the name issue and them looking alike, and that's also why not only do I think representation is very important, and it's not a problem to have a diverse cast, and he looks awesome anyway, but that's also why I thought casting Corlys Velaryon black and making his family biracial was so smart, because I was like, oh great, somebody who looks different, thank God. And then it makes it easier to prove the rumors about Rhaenyra and her husband to the average viewer true. Because if she has babies and they don't have white hair like her and her husband, or is a total whitey McWhite, the audience can go, that's not her baby. And the rumors that we, the freaks who've read these extra books he's wrote about these incest city freaks, can go, oh, look, wrong baby. She really was having an affair with so-and-so, and whatever the hell. Those are my 2 big concerns, the names and them all looking the same. Well, they fixed the all looking the same part, and now just a few look the same, because I've already tried to talk with average people about this, and they're like, who? Wait, which one was that? This girl with blonde hair? This older woman with blonde hair? Who's this lady? They think Alicent Hightower was 2 different people. They didn't know there was the same person in the trailer. So that's what I'm saying here. I'm like, I think it's going to do great. I think it's going to do amazing. I just am worried that it's not going to be the juggernaut that Game of Thrones was, because it might be too much for the average viewer. And then you're going to throw in the dragon names? We're not even going to get to that. And to find out that the director had the same concern as little old me, George R. R. Martin is smart with that marketing shit. The winter is coming. The night is dark and full of terrors. You know what I mean? He's slick with that shit. So, he's real good with the nicknames, okay? Everybody here's got a nickname. The Queen Who Never Was, the Sea Snake. We got nicknames up the wazoo here. So that's how you're going to, and one with one eye running around. So that's how we're going to keep people straight in the Targaryen family. Because otherwise, we have time jumps, and people aren't sometimes able to keep up with things. That's all I'm saying. Then I found this out. We're not even getting to the dance. We're not even getting to the war part. We're not getting to the Dance of Dragons until the next season. This is all setup. This is all setup. And yeah, there's a ton of setup you could do. I get it. There's a lot of Westerosi history. You don't gotta tell me. I'm just saying, is it enough to keep the... I didn't know that. I thought we were going... I didn't know that. So we're not even at the war. We're setting up the war. I think that's a bad idea. I'm concerned. And the reason I say that is because I love it and I don't want it to be. But everybody's saying in these reviews, which are more like comments, that it's good. Like, but some people are making some bold-ass claims. And I'm like, it's one episode, my dude. Chill. Like, I liked this one. Kat Combs said, I didn't know how much I missed the Game of Thrones theme song until I heard it tonight at the House of the Dragon premiere. That first episode is fantastic. Can't wait to see what's next. Fingers crossed it's no repeat of the final season of GOT. That's a great way to say this because you've only seen one episode. And I haven't seen it, but she's probably absolutely right. And it's like, yes, that's how you do something after a premiere like this. It was one episode. You can't base an entire series off of one episode. But some people are saying things like this. And I'm like, what are you doing? And what? IndieWire said, it's better than Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad. Why are you bringing Breaking Bad into this? Don't do that. You don't want that fight. Don't bring Breaking Bad into this. There are two things that you don't want to bring into a TV fight, my friend. Breaking Bad and Avatar: The Last Airbender. Don't bring anything other than those two up if you want to go head-for-head best show of all time, like flat out, point blank. The Wrap's Brandon Katz wrote, the House of the Dragon pilot very efficiently explains its context in relation to Game of Thrones, introduces its core characters, and lays out the central conflict of the series. It's an easy-to-follow premiere with vibrant colors and detailed texture. Absolutely a worthy successor so far. I think calling it a worthy successor is a little much, my man. But I'm not hating on it. I get it. You went a little back and forth where it was like, hey, we're getting real detailed, but then we're going back to vague stuff. And I can respect that. I'm not hating on it. I think everything that we've seen so far has been in the first 2 episodes. And I think that most of this first episode is probably, if it's setting up, then it's going to be back in time. Where we have a different actress playing Rhaenyra Targaryen. And when we make that time jump and she's older, it might be hard for the normies, is all I'm saying. And if we don't have the normies, we don't have the same amount of money. And if we don't have the same amount of money, they don't establish it as just as good or whatever, and they don't fund it correctly. And I don't want that to happen here. I've been saying this from the jump. I'm like, this is a bad place to start. I just think that starting here was so stupid. I just think starting here was so dumb. I just really don't know why they didn't do Dunk and Egg, and then The Mandalorian did it. The Mandalorian is Dunk and Egg. Town to town, you can fold this into a bigger plot with these characters and these worlds, or you can just have it be badass gunslinger coming into town with his royal / magical / whatever little sidekick. We like that dynamic. And you could have done Dunk and Egg, and we would have been a totally different palate cleanser. You still would have been in a time period that we could have had Maester Aemon, so it was like some characters where we could be like, oh, I remember, but it's a totally different vibe, and it would have been a totally different feel, and then go to the Dance of Dragons, and then go into super sad story about a family killing each other and their pets dying. I'm just saying, I don't know why people aren't saying this stuff, and I'm concerned at it doing well. Like I said, I want it to do well. I'm like, no, please, I know it's going to look great. They always look great. HBO don't turn out trash. Like, come on now. I'm just saying, I don't think this will be the juggernaut that Game of Thrones was. I don't think it will. I hope it is. I'm with it. I'm with you guys. I'm on your side. I'm just saying I have concerns. But Jesus, but I don't think it will have the same viewership by season 2. And I don't think it will have the amount of viewers that Game of Thrones had in the long run. But I'm like, pet death, especially if you have a whole season of us getting attached to these dragons. Who said that was a good idea? What the fuck is going on at Warner Brothers? Seriously, I have a Batman The Flash video, and just, I don't know what's going on at Warner Brothers and HBO. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's like the Wild Wild West over there. Like, what is happening? Who's agreeing to why isn't there anybody in the room saying stuff? That's what I don't understand. I'm just so baffled with how Warner Brothers is being ran right now, and I'm so baffled with HBO. I'm baffled with it all. And then you have shit like, what the fuck are you saying? It's a worthy successor. You watched an hour, dude. Calm down. So let me get this straight. You're gonna make us all get attached to these dragons. We're all gonna get attached to the pet. We're all gonna know their names. And then next season, you're gonna kill them. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but in the beginning of Game of Thrones, how many Targaryens are running around? How many dragons are running around in the beginning, season 1, episode 1 of Game of Thrones? How many dragons are there? None. Oh, they haven't been around for hundreds of years. What happened to them? Well, you're about to find out. You're about to find out. You're about to see what happened to the bulk of them. Jesus Christ, man. Like, and someone said at HBO, great idea. Go with that during right after the pandemic when people are super down. That's gonna be a banger, right? That'll really cheer people up from the season 8 finale, right? God, yeah, just wait for that. And I don't want that to happen. I'm like, oh man, I want you to do so well. But it's got flaws, and I'm gonna acknowledge it. Especially, I wasn't even gonna record tonight. I did a Crow video with John over at Movie Lovers Unite. You can go check that out. It was a ton of fun. We were talking about The Crow. But then I read that, and I was like, I guess I won't take my makeup off and I'll record, because what the fucking fuck? Who? What? And then I saw the reviews. I'm like, what? And then I was shocked. I was shocked, to say the least, when I saw that the director had the same concern I did. I was like, I said that. And then I was like, oh my God, not him. No. I'm happy with Motor City Nerd. Subscribe, comment, share, like, OF, everything down below. I don't even know what to say. I wasn't even planning on recording tonight. And now I'm like, all worked up because this stupid shit. And I'm like, that's... When you have a main concern off rip, the day they say we're doing a Targaryen history, and you think in your head on the factory floor that might not be a great idea. They should do Dunk and Egg. And then you find out, oh, they're doing House of the Dragon. And then you start a YouTube channel. And you think it's Aegon's Conquest. And you find out it's the Dance of Dragons. And you go, I think that might be too many names. And too many people who look alike. And it's really fucking sad. I don't know if that's a great choice. They should be doing Dunk and Egg. Whatever. We're here now. But nobody thought... That's what I mean here. People thought spectacle. That's what I'm worried about. Spectacle. Dragons. Look. And we are going to lose the normies, and it's not going to get the funding it rightfully deserves, or they're going to say it's a flop because it doesn't do as well, and that's bullshit because that was a juggernaut. I don't know if this will have the same thing, and that's what I'm worried about. It's a strange thing when you're sitting on your deck, and then you're like, I should go take my makeup off, and then you read that the director of your most favorite thing coming out in years said the same concern you had. It throws you off a bit. It threw me off. It threw me through a loop. I was like, what? And then I was like, shit. Then I saw the reviews, and I was like, shut the fuck up. And then I heard the George R. R. Martin ass kissing, and I was like, I guess I'll pop on and make people upset.